We covered the last C.T.I. about the Sound of Freedom movie. It's over $50 million right now at the box office. And that's all great. You also mentioned the politician in Spain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got some shit happening in our own borders, right? But there is a little twist on this I thought that was important to bring up for the show. So headline reads, California Democrats block bill to make child trafficking a serious felony.
Why?
Why would they do that?
Why would they do that, really?
Because they don't want to be because they don't want to be convicted of a serious felony.
Obviously. I agree. Okay. Let's move that reason off the table. Let's say you and I are tinfoil hat conspiracy like whack jobs. Okay. They're obviously they're not trafficking children.
Right.
Okay.
For sure.
All right, let's take that shit off the table. Obviously, they're not pedophiles.
Yeah.
Okay. We're conspiracy theory. Forget everything I've ever said and you've ever said or thought. Let's remove those things from the table. Why would they do this?
You want their answer?
Yeah.
They said because it's to prevent overcrowding in the prisons.
You mean the prisons that they just emptied during COVID?
Right. Oh, that's interesting, Andy.
And so we've now adopted a mindset in this country where we'd rather let people who harm children and violent criminals be on the street than violate their human rights by keeping them in prison. That's where we've moved to. Okay. Here's what's really going on. They're guilty of this shit. A lot of them are in this culture. They want violence in the streets. They want crime in the streets. They want disorder in the streets. They want chaos in the streets because just like they say, out of chaos comes order.
Yeah.
And they are burning everything to the ground. They are demoralizing every viewpoint about this country that we've ever loved and ever thought favorably about. And they are creating a scenario where they're going to have so much chaos on the streets and so much chaos in the world, up to and including pedophilia, to where people will fucking gladly accept any sort of order at all, as long as it just cleans up the crazy shit, even if it's communism. See what I'm saying?
I mean, because guys, think of it this way, right? Like, crime is so bad outside, you don't want to go nowhere. So if you don't want to go nowhere, you don't feel safe going anywhere. You got, pedophiles and murderers running into the streets rampant. You're going to just stay at home. And when you're at home, you're going to consume more of their fucking propaganda. You have no real way of interacting with the fucking real world. No real temperature check. You're not going nowhere. They want you scared because the moment they get you in that state of fear, you're theirs. They own you.
Yeah.
And to me, this whole thing is crazy. But like I said, there is a little twist on this story that I would also like to get your take on, Andy. So the Public Safety Committee, which has a Democratic majority, declined to advance Senator Grove's bill known as SB 14 on Tuesday, and some members expressed concerns, Andy, about the effectiveness of the 3 strikes rule and longer sentences. Come on, Andy. You can't have longer sentences, right? So the committee, which has 8 members, voted down the proposal with 2 Republican members voting in favor and 6 Democrats abstaining. And no votes. To me, that's the same as voting.
Wood chipper.
All right. Now, here's the twist for you, okay?
No votes against, like, dude, when these people play this partisan shit,
yeah,
those people belong right in there with the pedophiles.
Yeah.
Okay? This is our fucking kids, bro.
Well, that's the thing. And, like, the senator, I have a picture of her here. She brought her grandkids up there during the vote, right?
Where'd she vote? Which way she vote?
No, she's the Republican that introduced it. Yeah, she's actually the most conservative Republican in the state of California. But here's the twist, okay?
She has to go to battle every single fucking minute of her life.
Dude.
Living in California.
Dude, it's rough. So here's the twist. Let me make sure I got the source correct. This is from the San Francisco Chronicle, okay, that wrote this article. The headline reads, a child sex trafficking bill is roiling in the California Capitol. So they go into it, and it starts off. In an unusual move, Governor Gavin Newsom and leaders in the state assembly worked with a conservative lawmaker to revive a bill to increase criminal consequences for child sex trafficking after progressive Democrats shot the measure down in committee. Newsom rarely publicly announces he wants to intervene in the legislature's work, and legislative leaders rarely publicly question the committee's votes of their fellow Democrats. It's especially unusual in this instance, given that the bill in question was authored by one of the legislature's most conservative members. The move comes as Newsom and other state leaders are under increasing pressure to not be seen as soft on crime. While the state's violent and property crime rates are at relative lows compared to recent decades, Californians' concerns about crime are rising, according to polling by the Public Policy Institute of California.
They're relative lows because they're not getting reported.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm glad you caught that. So currently, child sex trafficking is already a felony in California that carries a prison sentence of 5 to 12 years or 15 to life if the crime involves force, deceit, coercion, or violence. So I thought that was an interesting twist. So Gavin Newsom's trying to is now.
Why do you think he did that?
I want to ask you that.
No, I'm gonna ask you.
I think that this is an example that he saw they were showing too much of the fucking color, and he's like, hold on, that's gonna bring way too much fucking heat. They're not ready for that. We can't be knocking down bills like that. I think what this was a move to kind of ease the public temperature. Because again, like kids, that's the line for the majority of people.
Look at this guy. Look at him. Do you think he's a total dumbass?
No.
I don't think so either.
No, I wouldn't give him that.
Have you seen him talk?
Yeah, for sure.
Have you seen him debate?
He's extremely witty.
Okay, he's very witty. I hate his debate style because all he does is shout people down like most liberals do because they can't make actual points. This guy's not a dumb fuck. He realizes that the child thing is a fucking no-go for his run to be president.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
And he's correct.
He is.
However, look at your state. Look what's happening. Look at these people who are voting to keep harsh punishment for crimes against your children that you elected to represent you, who use your tax dollars to do whatever the fuck they want. Okay? These people are in complete violation of their oath to serve and do what's in our interest as the American citizens. And any politician that votes either abstains from voting or votes in the favor of a law that somehow protects pedophiles or people who do crimes to children deserves to be held accountable with those people. That's real shit. And that's a hard line that every single American, no matter what you think of politics, no matter what side you identify with, no matter what, you should agree with.
That has to be the line.
Yeah. I'm fucking tired of it. I'm tired of these keyboard warriors on the internet and these fucking crazy motherfuckers all over the internet who don't even know who the fuck they are. Bro, the suicide rate for transgender people is like fucking near 50%. Okay? We have detransitioners. It's not because they can't cut off their dick.
Yeah. It's not because they're not happy.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Like you cutting off their penis and giving them a vagina that they have to fucking like stretch open.
Hold on. Bonus hole.
Whatever.
Bonus hole. You gotta be.
Is that what the fuck they call it? Okay.
Bonus hole.
Okay. You cutting this off or sewing shut a female's vagina and making them a penis, okay? Whatever the fuck you call it. No, I'm being serious. That's not keeping them from killing themselves. It's probably actually, when the data comes out later, it probably increases the chances dramatically. Now, they will never let us see this data, but I bet if you did the studies right now, because this has been going on long enough, you would see that the actual suicide rate of trans people is higher post-surgery than pre-surgery. That's my bet.
It's not because of trans hate.
That's my bet. Now, I don't know the data, and even if I saw the data right now, I would have to very partially scrutinize where the data came from because of how politicized everything is. But that's my gut. I think we see all these detransitioners coming out now who are saying, holy fuck. And we have these people voting for this shit to happen. Okay. We have a major problem in this country, and it's not minor. It's major with people who want to sexualize children, with people who want to, normalize pedophilia, with people who want to sympathize with violent crime. Okay. We have a big problem here, and it needs to be addressed. And the only way it's ever going to get addressed is if all of us stand the fuck up and say, no motherfucking more. It's not happening. So that's where I'm at. Y'all free to join me. But I'm going to tell you this. I ain't with none of this stuff. I like I said on the last show, I have to answer for this at one point in time. Where I stood, what I said, what I believed in. Was I a coward, or did I actually have courage? And you know what? I live by that. Yeah. And you can think whatever you want of me. You can call me whatever the fuck name you want to call me. You can fucking say whatever you want. You can yell at me on the internet. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Because at the end of my life, I'm going to have to fucking say, you know what? I either stood for what I thought was right, or I was a coward. And I'm not willing to be a fucking coward. This shit is wrong. And y'all know it's wrong. And your silence is starting to become true complicity. You're enabling it now. That means you're part of the problem. That means no matter how big you apologize, how much you say you're sorry, how much you wish you would have spoke up, there's actually kids right now that are getting their lives ruined because of your fucking silence as an individual. So think about that and think long and hard about it, because this is fucking fucked up. I never thought we'd live I never thought we'd see a day and age where pedophilia could even be talked about as potentially fucking normal. I never thought that we would get to that point. I never thought that we would get to a point where young kids would be encouraged with one therapy session to mutilate their genitals.
Well, bro, you see what's happening in other countries right now too. While we're advancing the lightening of sentences and normalization here, what's happening in other countries?
They're doing the opposite.
Castration.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and it's not just one country. Like, these are multiple countries.
Because this is a global movement.
Makes sense to me.
This is going on in every country. People don't understand that. It's not just America, bro. And other countries are standing up to this shit. We here as Americans, we don't want to be called names. We don't want to be seen as intolerant. The time for tolerance is fucking over. I don't know if you noticed. It's over. Okay? We've peaked over that point of tolerance. Now we've moved into a point where you either comply with their agenda, or you're a bigot, or you're a racist, or you belong on the domestic terrorism list. You're a bad person. You're alt-right because you don't want to mutilate kids' genitals, or you don't want them reading about blowjobs when they're in kindergarten, or you don't want grown men dressed as women shaking their balls in front of their face. Or you want to say a politically correct term like minor attracted people instead of pedophiles. Like, bro, they're using Americans. First of all, they've conditioned them to be tolerant, and now they're using that conditioning to push their agenda through. And so the time for tolerance is fucking over. Real talk.